You know how sometimes books will say something in the title and they don't mean it? This word that says the life-changing magic, it means it. This book is absolutely amazing. So everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacy Flowers and I'm super excited because today we get to do something that I have always wanted to do, which is talk about books. And today we're actually going to be talking about one of the books that I recommended on my fall reading list. This book absolutely needs to be on your reading list. It is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. The subtitle is The Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing. And this was actually an airport find. The reason why I got the book, so anytime I fly, I always stop in the bookstore because for some reason, the books at the airport are so appealing. Like, I love Barnes and Nobles, but I really appreciate the Hudson books that are at the airport. But anywho though, the book was there, and so I saw the title, The Life-Changing Magic, and I'm like, I like hyperbole where people just speak in extreme language. But so I was just like, okay, life-changing magic of tidying up. But then also when I opened up the book to the first couple of pages, it was I happened upon a page that said something to the effect of like, once you tidy up, you will have no relapses. And I was like, why are you using this extreme language? Because, you know, when we think about relapses, we think of people, you know, dealing with like, you know, huge addictions, and, you know, you don't want them to relapse. So I saw the language and I was like, this girl is so dramatic and extreme, and I absolutely adore it because I'm a very dramatic, extreme person too. And I really liked her word choices. The fact that she was just like, once you do complete a tidying event, you will not have any relapses. I was like, clearly there's something that's missing from my life because I relapse in cleaning all the time. So I picked it up, and just waiting to board the plane, I probably flipped through I probably read through half of the book. And I actually went back to the bookstore because she has this, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, and then she has another book, which is like the companion book, which is called Spark Joy. And Spark Joy is essentially, it's the companion because it's the illustrated guide to this book. So for those of you who are like, you know, I want to get this life-changing magic of tidying up, but I don't want to read, you can get Spark Joy, and there's reading involved, but it's more of a visual thing. But I enjoyed reading this so much and learning about this woman and her path to understanding tidying that I went ahead and, like, within the same time frame, picked up this book. And like, if you can see here, this is sort of what your illustrations look like. So Spark Joy is the companion, but Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up is her original work. So let's get into it. The 3 reasons why this book is so amazing. I took some notes. So the first thing that I learned in The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up is that there is a difference between tidying and cleaning. And most often the reason why we have like clutter and junk and all this trouble with items in our home is because our home, our office, or wherever, is because we keep cleaning and we're not tidying. And in the book, she talks about like the difference between cleaning and tidying, and why people who clean always relapse. There it is again, that extreme language. But how tidying is really about deciding what pieces you need and you want, and then putting those pieces in their place and making sure each piece and thing has a purpose. And so just sort of like a paradigm shift of like, you know, you won't have to clean as much if you actually tidy properly. Because like, for example, when I clean my kitchen, like, you know, sometimes it's frustrating that it's like super completely dirty. But if you say to yourself, why do I have 5 spatulas? Why am I washing 5 spatulas? Well, why do I have so much stuff in the sink? Well, it's because I'm washing 5 spatulas. Well, why am I washing 5 spatulas? It's because everyone in your house is using a different spatula, and so you have to clean because you haven't tidied down to 1 spatula. So it's a little bit of like decluttering, organization, but once you do it, it's like the cleaning, there's less cleaning because everything has a purpose, everything has a place, and everything that you have is with intention. So that's like the first sort of like paradigm thing, is just to understand that tidying is different than cleaning. And that's why tidying also happens in an event and cleaning happens over and over and over again. So that was like the first like just mind-blowing thing. And I'm probably not doing it justice in the explanation, but if you read the book, you'll see how she like breaks down like the pitfalls of cleaning versus the benefits of tidying, which is just super blows my mind. And also sometimes when people clean, like they clean and they what is it called? Clean and purge. They clean and purge, but when you clean and purge, that creates this like hole or vacancy or whatever, and you think to yourself like, well, now I don't have stuff and I have to go out and replace all of this stuff that I just cleaned and purged. Whereas when you tidy, you don't have that vacant feeling of like, let me just go back out and replace all this stuff that I just purchased. So the second reason why I think this book, especially the life-changing magic, is because like I tidied my things in my home so well that I tidied myself right out of an unhealthy situation. And so I talked about this a little bit, but at the end of the year before last, I upgraded my home. I moved into this 4-bedroom, 3-story home, 1.5 bath, full kitchen, dining room, living room. Like, it was this amazing space, but it was a significant upgrade from where and what I lived in before. And within a year's time, my entire family, mom, dad, siblings, nieces, all moved in with me. And that is a significant amount of people. Let me see, 2, 3, 5 adults and 8 children. Well, 6 adults including me. 6 adults and 8 children living in one home within a year's time. It was very intense. And as you can imagine, like, it's this very intense thing, and you know, the house is dirty relative or messy relative to all of the people that are living there, but also just I was just feeling like, okay, this is just a lot. Like, I don't know what's going on, but you know that like the feelings of like guilt and stress and frustration and overwhelm, and you don't really know what to do with them. You don't really know where they belong. You don't know how to make your next decision. Well, I was reading The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, and I started to tidy up my room because that was sort of what I was left with in the home. And as I tidied up my room would be such a refuge that anytime I went into the other areas of my life, I was able to see, hey, this isn't actually healthy, and you are not okay here. Like, and you're not okay here, and it's okay that you're not okay here. It's okay that right now you're not gung-ho about living with your entire family in one home. It's okay that you don't have the energy to clean up your whole entire house when there are 17 million other people in here. And so by the end of my tidying event, once I tidied up my entire room and then what used to be sort of like my linen bathroom-ish area and items, and then also my kitchen items, I had felt such like emotional relief and peace with my decision to actually move out of my home. And so I was able to make that decision, and I made that decision with much less guilt. I'm not saying I had no guilt, but I made that decision with much less guilt because as I was tidying, I was really understanding the principles that are associated with your things, your home, your space, the value of it, the importance of it, like how it impacts everything else, because I wasn't just cleaning to have it appear better. I was tidying so that it would actually feel better from the inside out. So that was like super, 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 super powerful. So that's why when it says life-changing, like, I do believe that if you complete the entire book and you complete the entire tidying event, that you will probably make those decisions that you've been stalling on, because your space will be tidied. You will no longer stall on those decisions. I can confidently say that, and I'm pretty confident that's why she has that life-changing component in there. So that is the second thing. Like, I literally tidied myself up right out of an unhealthy situation, which many of us are in unhealthy situations and could benefit from doing something that seems completely unrelated. But it was like Mr. Miyagi. You guys know I like Mr. Miyagi. You're doing the wax on, wax off, and you think you're just cleaning the car, but really you're learning these karate moves so that you can kick butt in a tournament. Same thing. I thought I was just organizing and folding my clothes, when really I was building up the emotional courage to share my truth with my entire family and move. So that's the third reason why you should read The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, is because it's really not about things. It's really about respecting things, including yourself. And I think that one of the things, and this is probably more of a Western culture thing, we have such an abundance of stuff that we don't realize how much we don't respect the stuff that we have, and we don't respect the like opportunities that we have, and we don't respect the we just don't respect, we just have very little respect for things because there is such an abundance. And so when you are going through the process of tidying up, she takes you through this process where you actually have to like look at every single piece that you own, which I know seems daunting, every single piece of paper, every earring, everything. You look through everything. And initially when I was doing it, I was like, this just it's so unnecessary. But then I was like, okay, I don't even want to go through my stuff. that's a problem. Why don't I want to go through my stuff? Like, why am I not grateful? Why, I don't even want to go through my things. And so she teaches you how to respect things, but in you respecting things, it actually builds up respect for yourself. Because one, you can acknowledge that you do have an abundance of things, and a lot of the things that you probably think that you need, you don't need. But two, that like your things do reflect who you are. Like, don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying you are your things. I'm simply saying the way you care for your things, how you treat your things, is a reflection of who you are. Like, if you treat, if your house is always messy, that is a reflection of some internal mess on the inside of you. If your house has to be pristine, and you know, people always talk about like the OCD and they joke about that, but that's like a real mental illness. And so, but like if you have to be very precise and like it causes great stress for things to be out of order, that is a reflection of who you are on the inside. Like you being rigid. And so when we're living in these extremes where we're rigid or we're messy or we're, you know, it's like it is showing an aspect of our personhood that is worth looking at. And so I think The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up is a good book because it teaches you through respecting your things. It causes you through respecting your things to actually respect yourself more. And I think we all could use a lot more self-respect. And I think we could just all benefit from respecting ourselves a little bit more. I think if we respected ourselves a little bit more, a lot of the negativity, a lot of the criticism and the gossip and all the things that we do harmful to one another, we just wouldn't do, because it's very, very difficult to be critical or negative about someone else when you actually respect yourself. Like when you respect yourself, there are just things you won't allow yourself to say. But when you don't respect yourself, you just verbal diarrhea, just vomiting all over. And so what her method shows you is how to respect your things. And in you respecting your things, you really see how it is a means to respect yourself. So I hope that, you know, everything that I've shared has given you enough of a reason to want to read this book. It's a very easy read. It is, it's 206 pages. So it's a very simple read. It's very practical. I will say again, and I mentioned it earlier, like if you're not interested in her story, now I'm a person who's interested in her story. So it tells her story of when she uncovered her passion for tidying, which is hilarious to me. When she discovered the difference between cleaning and tidying. If you're not interested in the personal reflection process, autobiography nature of the tidying method, then I would definitely just grab Spark Joy, because Spark Joy will give you the illustrated guide for how do you fold, how do you sort, how do you do that. You get the principles in this book without the commentary on who she was and how she became who she was. I prefer this because, you know, I like to study people's passion and purpose and their ultimate path to happiness. And so she just broke it down. And for me, also reading this was confirmation to the work that I'm doing. I tell people all the time, happiness is unleashing your God-given potential to positively influence the world. This girl has been tidying. I feel like her earliest story is like 6 or 7 years old. She's been tidying, and she's been trying to figure out a way to unleash that God-given potential to tidy, to positively influence the world, which is doing. This book has been translated, I think, into like 27 different languages. Imagine if you and I stuck to the things that we were passionate and purpose to do as relentlessly as she has done. Like, she has changed the way that we think about clean. She's changed our vocabulary for cleaning simply because she made a commitment to unleashing her God-given potential, which ultimately means she made a commitment to being happy. Like, so I love this because I like reading narratives that confirm that which I believe. And I also loved it because it just reinforced the principles that are in it. But again, if you're not a word reader and you want the concepts without having to read the narrative, her second book, The Illustrated Guide to the Art of Organizing and Tidying Up, Spark Joy, is equally as great. I will leave links to both of these books below to make it really, really easy for you guys to go and get it. I think they have softback. I prefer hardback books, so that's the reason why I got it in hardback. But yeah, I loved it. So if you have read The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, I would love to hear about your experience. If you have any questions or comments about anything that I shared, just let me know, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.